Welcome to another edition of Fast Break. I'm Penny Davis, NCAA National Coordinator of Women's Basketball Officiating. The topic of this video is traveling violations. Traveling remains a point of emphasis for the current season. When players are permitted to execute moves illegally, they provide a distinct advantage to a ball handler or a shooter, as well as a disadvantage to a defender. Footwork plays can be put into two categories: pre-dribble and end of dribble. Let's start with pre-dribble. There are three specific types of plays that are a concern. Number 1, violations of lifting and replanting the pivot foot. Number 2, split feet travel. And number 3, running start travels. The pivot foot of the dribbler is lifted and replanted before the ball is released to start the dribble. This is a pre-dribble traveling violation. While you need to referee the defense, you must also concentrate on the pivot foot first to ensure that the move starts legally, and then concentrate on refereeing the defense. Similar to the last play, the ball handler does not start her move legally as both feet move prior to releasing the ball to start the dribble. This split feet travel is an obvious violation, as officials do not need to know which foot is the pivot. Moving both feet before releasing the ball to start the dribble is a clear violation. Let's look at a pre-dribble play in the post area. The post player receives the ball and establishes her right foot as her pivot foot. The post player faces up, becoming a ball handler, and lifts her pivot foot before releasing the ball to start the dribble. This is a traveling violation for the running start. The ball handler initially established her right foot as her pivot foot, and then proceeds to switch her pivot to the left foot. When she lifts and replants her original pivot foot, a traveling violation is called. The center does a good job with coverage on this play. As the ball handler is under pressure, the center position adjusts to have an awareness of the pivot foot and potential for illegal contact, and correctly detects the violation. Nice job. Now let's look at some end of dribble violations. While it can be challenging to determine when a dribble ends and which foot is the pivot, when an official is uncertain, the benefit of the doubt should rest with the offensive player having made a legal play. This is not an excuse to miss obvious violations, but guidance to not guess. The upcoming plays are considered to be obvious end of dribble traveling violations. White number 0 drives down the lane, ends her dribble with her left foot in contact with the playing court. She then legally steps with her right foot, but when she places her left foot back on the playing court, she has committed a traveling violation and proceeds to take extra steps after the dribble. When one foot is in contact with the playing court when the dribble ends, the only way for that foot to return to the playing court with the player still controlling the ball is by executing a jump stop. That is, the player jumps off of that one foot and lands on both feet simultaneously. When a player ends their dribble and jumps to shoot, they must release the ball before returning to the court. A traveling violation should have been ruled on this play. Let's review a couple of legal moves that are not traveling violations. According to AR 105, when a pass rebounds from a player's hand and falls to the floor, this is not considered a dribble since the player is not in control. When the player secures the ball following the fumble, they still have the privilege to dribble the ball, as in this example. This is a legal play. This is a legal move, as the ball handler ends their dribble with both feet off the playing court and lands simultaneously on both feet. The ball handler then steps with their left foot while using their right foot as a pivot. There is no violation on this play. I hope that these examples will be helpful in understanding the rules around traveling violations. Thanks for your support of women's basketball.
Are you interested in becoming an official? Go to ncaa.org/sayyes-to-officiating for more information.